A Migrant Story is a project that provides an avenue for these migrants to share with everybody their journey to come to Australia, their struggle, their frustration, their pain, their joy, and of course their life experiences, and not to forget their success and the achievement that they're proud of being an Australian. Randwick City Council initiated this project mainly because the local government area, we have quite a significant proportion of residents. They were born overseas. Over 1/3 of the population, they came from more than 100 countries, and they speak over 60 different languages at home. So you can see that this community actually is quite culturally and linguistically diverse. This project is with an objective that we would like to promote cultural awareness, promote empathy, respect, and tolerance, and everybody in the community live happily. It started in 2003. Over the years, we have already had a few publications. It is a biannual project, and we already had over 125 migrants sharing with us their stories.
My name is George Varghese, and I come from a state called Kerala. I would say I come from just above middle class family, because my father was a high school principal. My Australian friends in North Borneo High School where I was teaching, when we were having lunch together one day, I told them this is the end of the year for me here in this high school, and I want to go to London and do my PhD, further studies. And then my friend said, why you want to go there? Why don't you go to Sydney, the oldest university like any other university? Then I, in an easy way, I told my friends, you don't know what you're talking about. So they didn't understand the fact that people who are not European background were not allowed in this country at that time. So they discovered it the next day after their discussion in the evening, and they came back and told me, don't worry about those things, you just apply to the University of Sydney and see what happens, and they kept insisting. The university replied saying that we are happy to have you, but you have to get the immigration permission. So they sent me a stack of application forms and explanation papers and so on, and just to make sure that I understand what it's all about. So I read through the papers and filled in the application for immigration. And luckily, after about 2 months, they said, as an unprecedented case, you are allowed in. When I decided, after getting a bit long and feeling lonely after the education training course, then I thought it may be time for me to get married. So I went to India, and then my parents knew this family, and so they said this girl is there. She is a university not only graduate master's degree, and therefore I thought it may be better for her to come with me, and she was quite attractive for me, and got married. I have only 2 children, one boy, the older one, the other one is a girl. The Randwick City Council started a multicultural advisory committee. That was because they started to feel that there are migrant people coming in, and they are from different parts of the world, not all Greeks and Italians who were earlier migrants, and they were well off. So this multicultural advisory committee started, and I've been asked to be on the advisory committee, and for last 10 years or so I've been on the advisory committee trying to help new migrants as well coming, and they needed a lot of help. So I'm really enjoying that. Randwick Library, I used to take a number of people into the library so they can see what the Randwick is about. They can look up books and read about Randwick, and if they wanted to settle down here, then they should know a little bit more about the people and the life of this particular part of Sydney, what it's like. And I'm also on the library's advisory committee as well. So it's a wonderful place in different ways. I'm enjoying Randwick.
Well, my name is Fred Orr, and originally I come from a place called Lancaster, Pennsylvania in the United States, the Amish country. Had always had a fascination with Australia right from the time that I was in high school. I met an Australian at a local church who spoke of the outback, etc., and that really ignited a very strong interest that kept percolating through me. And about 10 years later, I decided, look, I interrupted my studies and came to Australia. Actually, I came as part of a invitation from the state education department, and they were looking for science and math teachers, and I'd had some experience in teaching, and so I raised my hand. They said, yes, we'd like you to come, and I arrived. My wife is a British nurse, and I guess if you were to look at the on pencil and paper, comparisons, you'd probably say this would never work out. We have 3 children. Matthew's the eldest, and he's a war correspondent, works for the U.S. Marines. The second is Vanessa. She's a psychologist, works for the Cancer Council here in Sydney. And the third is Catherine, and she's a primary school teacher at Dulwich Hill. And Vanessa's got 2 children, so 2 grandchildren, a boy and a girl. And Matthew's got a son who lives in Seattle, Washington. Well, they very much, as today, it's a sun and surf and sand sort of lifestyle. They enjoy very much an out of doors existence. When I grew up, I used to wake up in the days and every day was gray and overcast and a bit on the gloomy side as far as the weather was concerned. Whereas here, the bulk of the days, you start with lovely sunshine, blue sky, and it makes such a difference to your approach to the day. Well, over the years, I've volunteered in various capacities. I have a very active role at the Randwick Library. I convene a art group called the Next Chapter Art Group, and we meet each month with speakers, and that group has grown from about 8 people to I think about 65 at the moment. I have a very active interest in native plants and have a strong affiliation with the Randwick Community Nursery. I'm there probably several times a month and actively look at new plants, and I volunteer at the St. Jude's Church up in the northern part of Randwick, looking after the plants in the cemetery. And so I take a lot of plants from the nursery, the Randwick Nursery, and plant them in the cemetery. What I love really about Australia is the diversity of people that are here. It's truly a multicultural melting pot. On the street here where we live, there are probably close to 20 nationalities when we moved in, we used to have a Christmas potluck get-together at Christmas time, and people would bring a meal that is characteristic or symbolic of their native country or the country that they that they would identify with. And we had Greek, we had Lebanese, we had Canadian, English, New Zealand. We had a huge array of people. And that's quite characteristic of, I think, the general state of Australia. It is a lovely melting pot, and for the greater part, everybody seems to get along quite well.
Hi, my name is Gervas Story, and I am from Randwick TAFE. I'm one of the students in Screen and Media. Well, I'm from a country called Côte d'Ivoire, which you call it the Ivory Coast. My memories from Côte d'Ivoire are very Very great. I had a very nice childhood. I studied commerce, business, and at the end of my studies, I said, look, I want to explore my life. But to be able to get out of Africa was not given. That's not something that is given to everybody. I have to work, find work very hard, you know. So I decided to be a musician, so playing in clubs, you know, nightlife, you know. So I ended up working in a 5-star hotel, you know, and that's when I managed to save a bit of money. And once I was I could get myself a ticket and whatever, I decided to go in adventure to South Africa. The apartheid system, of course, I wouldn't say I left because of the apartheid system. After apartheid was abolished, long time. But the consequence, the drawbacks of the apartheid was very well alive. You know, it was a beautiful, fascinating place. But I also went through a lot of personal difficulties. But it is all a part of a journey of the adventurer that I am. Because without those stories, I wouldn't be who I am today, and I wouldn't be here if everything was so perfect. Well, it was a bit strange, okay? Because coming from a very very rough, exciting, very controversial place like Johannesburg, you know, because it was been already Ivory Coast, which is another country, go to Johannesburg like it's a jungle, and coming to Australia, you know, very clean city, everything very well organized, and it was different. The opportunity that has been given to my children is the peaceful environment that has been provided for me and my family to live in, security, teach my children, share with them what I came with from my country, even before they were born, share my music, make sure that I pass on everything that is very important to me in my life, which is music. And today, the result is here clear in the way that my son Yannick has been able to achieve at the highest level, the highest that can be higher. He's only 12. He's appeared on Oprah Winfrey. He's been in America where he's been on CBS News celebrating Jimi Hendrix's 40th anniversary. He's been here on Carrie Ann Show, 5-minute performance on Carrie Ann Show. Now he's doing Australia Got Talent. Well, my son was born here 1 year after I got in this country. Since he was born pretty much, maybe at least after 10 months, I knew that he had a talent. I have known, for whatever reason it is, I have known down deep inside myself that that kid had something. And at this very early age, I made the resolution that was my duty to do the right thing by him. Because I did not want to sit and wait one day when he's 20 to say, I wish I did this. No. I've been doing what I needed to do with him to develop what I found. And thank God, today I haven't been proved wrong by taking those steps. We shouldn't think that this is a country where you come and take. This is a country where you come and exchange. Give as much you can give. Because if people haven't given, we wouldn't be attracted to this country. So it's not just a matter of coming to take, but coming to contribute.
My name is Andrew. This is my wife, Dean. It's a head chef of Chimamau restaurant. We both came from the Hunan province, which is in central south of China. And we came here 2004. I like the Australia. It's a good place. Yeah. So after graduation, we decide to stay Australia. So we apply for immigration. And now we live in Kensington, which is in Randwick Council. Everything is convenient. We have a
hospital,
library, university. Yeah, it's a park here. It's a lot of park, a green field. It's a nice place here. Yeah. And why we decide to open a restaurant here? Actually, we never planned to open a restaurant. We just we never have experience in this industry. We never do restaurant in China. For us, we just like cooking, and we like to offer the people here, local people here, with a different flavor, because in China there are a lot of different cuisine, and Hunan cuisine is one of them. Chimamau is from Hunan province. That's why we use this name, Chimamau restaurant. Because,
everybody knows the Chimamau. Yeah, we have 2 children, 1 daughter and 1 son. They are studied in the Kensington Public School.
Children is because when they arrive here, very young, 2 years old, 1 year old.
Yeah, 1 year old.
They have education background here. Language is no problem for them. We love most about Australia.
Yeah, the weather is very.
Weather
Yeah.
is very nice weather here, and the environment, no pollution, and the water is very safe water, and the people is very nice here, and multicultural environment. A lot of people from everywhere, from all over the world. It's